Hey, my name is Ingrid Gonzalez Filos. I am the editor-in-chief of The Runner, and this is what you can expect from our latest issue.
One of the major promises is pandemic recovery and how each party plans to address that if they're elected. The Liberal Party is encouraging vaccination as the best line of defense against COVID. The Conservative Party is going to require unvaccinated federal workers and unvaccinated passengers on buses, planes, and other transportation to test negative for COVID each day rather than require them to have a vaccine. The NDP says they will enforce a vaccine mandate for federal workers. The Green Party will order a public inquiry that would evaluate the joint response between all levels of government to find what worked and what didn't. The next hot topic of this election is, of course, affordable housing. The Liberal Party says they will introduce a first home savings account for Canadians under age 40. The Conservative Party promises to build 1 million homes within 3 years and create incentives for first-time home buyers. The NDP will create at least 500,000 units of quality affordable housing in the next 10 years. And the Green Party says they will declare housing affordability and homelessness a national emergency. The next hot topic is Indigenous reconciliation. The Liberal Party will invest $2 billion over 4 years in housing for First Nations, Inuit, and Métis Nations. The Conservative Party pledges to fund investigations and implement the Truth and Reconciliation calls to Action 71 to 76 that involves the missing children at former residential school sites. The NDP says they will uphold Indigenous rights, invest in children, and end funding discrimination. And the Green Party will include Indigenous peoples, their worldviews, knowledge, and government systems in decision-making around economic development within the marine and freshwater areas in their territories. And the final hot topic in this year's federal election is climate change. If re-elected, the Liberal Party promises to continue planting 2 billion trees across Canada. The Conservative Party promises to establish a task force to protect the woodland caribou, improve responses to wildfires, and invest $3 billion until 2030 in natural climate solutions. The NDP will set a target of reducing Canada's emission by at least 50% from 2005 levels by 2030. The Green Party's platform promises to achieve net zero emissions as quickly as possible by ensuring a reduction in gas emissions of 60% from 2005 levels by 2030, with enforceable targets starting in 2023.
Some of the issues post-secondary students are facing in this year's election include affordability, climate change, and food security. One of the biggest issues Canadian post-secondaries face in terms of affordability is when it comes to choosing and affording homes. Then is registering to a post-secondary institution, buying school supplies, and paying off student loans. Marley Gillies, chair of the Canadian Alliance of Students Association, says that tuition is going up across many provinces and is making it difficult for students to choose between attending a post-secondary institution or staying enrolled. And in terms of food insecurity, approximately 40% of students at Canadian universities experience some type of food insecurity, according to Meal Exchange, a national registered food charity.
What If is an exhibit at the Surrey Art Gallery by artist Sandeep Johal that focuses on Indian women throughout history who were role models, trailblazers, pioneers, rebels, and vigilantes. Johal chose this topic because the women of the exhibit failed to receive recognition for their work during the time of their existence. The exhibit is a recreation of Johal's teenage bedroom with illustrations of these women displayed throughout the room. The image of Indian women that Johal was taught as she was growing up was that they cook, clean, and serve others, and that men typically held the power. She never associated herself with this portrayal and is attempting to change the narrative with this exhibit. Johal wants the younger generation of Indian women to learn about the powerful women in their ancestry so they can have the role models that she never got to have. South Asian cultures have been used by non-South Asian celebrities in pop culture to profit off of, which has led to South Asian cultures being misrepresented in the media. The exhibit also has a section called Rest in Power, which is dedicated to women in India who were victims of gender-based violence and lost their lives because of it. The What If exhibit will run at the Surrey Art Gallery from September 18th to December 11th.
This opinion article was written by Haley Glennon. So in the article, Haley explains why she thinks social media can be both a blessing and a curse, as it can create complications within the political process. She goes on to describe how it can be a great tactic for political parties to reach out to a wide demographic of people, but can create complications as these parties want your vote, which can allow misinformation and shady lobbying to come into play. To read more, go to runnermag.ca.
The Divine Connection is an exhibit that will be featured at the Surrey Art Gallery starting September 18th. Phyllis Atkins, the creator behind the exhibit, will feature 3 artworks that reflect her life and healing process, with the multimedia sculpture called The Creator's Eye being the main focal point. Atkins is an artist from the Kwalin First Nation that creates paintings and sculptures that draw from Coast Salish tradition, her personal healing journey, and inspiration from her husband, Drew Atkins. The sculpture will be displayed with the circular video projection playing the Kwalin song and her lunar portrait titled Grandmother Moon right beside. She also shares her story on how she became an artist, her personal healing journey, and why it's important to share her artwork with the Surrey community. Atkins' exhibit will be featured at the gallery until December 11th.